were given the green light to see could you find a deal outside of the PBC. You thought that was happening with Subriel Matias. So let's start there because we know that you were on the table as a team for many fighters, but ultimately no one accepted the Elvis Rodriguez fight even after he was offered the fight and signed for the fight. So let's start with Subriel Matias. What happened there? Why did that fall apart? Why is he going with Liam Paro, who is also a southpaw, versus going with, your fighter Elvis Rodriguez, who's Dominican, and outside of the Mexican-Puerto Rican rivalry, the Dominican-Puerto Rican rivalry is there, stems back to baseball, and it exists. So it made economic sense
Right,
to fight a
right,
Dominican in Puerto Rico. What's your
right.
thoughts?
I mean, people gotta see that for what it is. It's not the first time. A lot of things came out to light uh, after this situation and when everything was transpiring. So I was like, wow, like, I had told them, I said, listen, like, are you sure Matias wants to fight us? We went down this hole already once, and they were like, yeah, like, he'll fight. And I was like, all right, we accepted all of these terms. We had he had a comeback fight in March that I had scheduled for him to get him kind of back into it. And they were like, they hit me up and they're like, listen, would you fight Matias next? I was like, yeah. We have a comeback fight in March, but after that, sure. They was like, all right, yo, let me hit you back. They hit me back. They give me numbers. They're like, yo, listen, you got to go to Puerto Rico. Um, it needs to be a rematch. This is the money. It is what it is, and you can't take that tune-up fight. I'm like, damn, bro. Let me ask him before I say yes. So I hit him up, and he's like, bro, I'll take that fight. Like it is like I'm not, it is what it is. I got to take that opportunity. So we went back and forth about the numbers. We came to agreement with the numbers. They were like, all right, bet, yo, we're gonna fly you out to Orlando. Announce the fight. We do a little press
And
conference,
it was
announce the
supposed to be
fight.
flown out for the Berlanga fight.
Correct. And I was like, oh, all right, like this is actually happening. So I'm like, yo, send me the contract. They're like, all right, give me a couple days, I'll send you the contract. Couple days by, yo, you got the contract? Hold on, give me a second. I'll get you the contract. Okay, a couple days go by again. I'm like, yo, what's going on with the contract? Listen, these other guys came in, and like, I was like, yeah, this is like, yo, they don't want to
So
fight,
so
bro.
what were they trying to get you to take less because they had other options, or did they
No,
just
no, no,
not
no, no,
want
no.
you?
No, no. I think, like, in my opinion, Matchroom is doing what they got to do to cover for their fighter because they're promoting the boogeyman and the guy who everybody's ducking. And then if you come out and say, listen, we offered him the Rodriguez fight and he ain't want it, like, what are you gonna say, bro? So you can't promote that anymore. So he's like, now they're saying, oh, we really wanted the Paro fight, but I know
I
uh,
mean,
uh,
that
uh, uh,
is true though, because that power
Cis-
rumor has been there since last year, like November, bro.
so Cesar said apparently
Yeah.
he spoke to Eddie Hearn, and Eddie
Okay.
was like, yo, we want the Elvis fight. Like, yo, Eddie's not a dumb guy. What
Mm-hmm.
fight does better in Puerto Rico?
The Dominican. It's
Okay,
by far, it
so we gotta
has to
stop
be.
pretending like right now they just covering for their fighter. And that's cool, yo. I get that. But like,
Now,
let's stop pretending like he's not a
obviously,
promoter.
obviously, you don't know what Pyro got, but do you believe? Is it your hunch that he was offered less?
No, I honestly I think probably more because that's what he
But
was
that
holding
wouldn't
out
make
for.
no sense, Benny. So why would they not go with you
That's
to an?
what why do you think?
So
I mean,
can I
it
jump
can't
in?
be
Can I
just
just throw out an
danger. It can't.
idea, guys?
Go ahead.
And what's up, Benji? How are you? I know
What's
you
what's
can't
going
see
on,
me,
man? How you
but
doing?
good to talk to you again. Just an idea. Let's not forget Paro was supposed to have the Regis fight and then had that broken orbital fight fell out. It could be that they're like, yo, we owe you a big one. If an opportunity presents itself, because he is with Matchroom, and obviously you guys were looking to to do business with them. I'm curious though, Benji, from the conversations you guys did have, I know you didn't receive a contract. Was it a situation like we've seen oftentimes recent with Matchroom where, hey, you win, then you get the Matchroom deal? Was the
No, no, no. We
conversations
had
like that,
it
or
was
was it just for the fight itself?
win or lose. Like we were gonna be with Matchroom, even if he lost, as long as he looked good. Like he was gonna get a comeback fight, and then he was gonna get thrown back in there.
So now what? Because I seen the news that you guys are back on a PBC card in June. Now it's looking like.
Correct. Correct. So through that whole thing, then they started offering me Alfredo Santiago. I don't
That's
know
the
if you
guy
guys saw.
that Mario Barrios fought, correct?
I don't
No,
know,
that's
to be honest.
Giovanni Santiago. No, that's Giovanni Santiago. Alfredo Santiago, isn't that?
I think he fought Devin Haney at
Yeah, the
some point.
Dominican that fought Haney.
Yeah, so they had offered us that, but like for a lot less than we're getting paid now, and they couldn't guarantee us a Matias fight. And then I seen Matias the other day like mad, like talking shit, like he's mad. I'm like, yo, why is he mad? Is he mad that we keep taking the fight, or is he mad that people keep asking him about this fight? Say,
Well,
que lo que?
we got your fighter on. Elvis, ¿cómo está?
Que lo que hay, buen día, todo bien, todo bien.
Buen día, buen día. Estamos hablando aquí sobre tu pelea. Obviously, we're going to get Benny to translate. Just to let him know we're talking here, obviously, about his potential fight with Sabril Matias and this new fight that you guys have with PBC. So it is Alfredo Santiago for sure.
Our opponent?
Yes.
No, 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 no. So they came back and they offered us Alfredo Santiago in Puerto Rico, but there was no guarantees. The money wasn't the same. And then PBC's like, yo, listen, forget that. This is what we're doing. Here's what we got. Here's what we're paying you. And here's what that does for you. And, I couldn't say, oh, let me go to Puerto Rico for Alfredo Santiago. Hopefully, Matias will fight us, which
So
clearly he has shown that he don't want to. And in that, like, it came to me that they had been trying to make Elvis Matias for a long time, way before they even told me about it.
so where does that leave Elvis with what named opponent?
El oponente, ¿cómo se llama?
Raúl Goyás, Valenzuela.
Raul Oyas Valenzuela. So
Goyás, Valenzuela.
do you guys are you familiar with him?
I know he fought what's the guy the guy that Matchroom has that lost. ¿Cómo se llama el tipo que peleó con él?
Creo que fue con Montana Love que él peleó.
Montana
Okay.
Love.
Okay. Yeah, so it's Gabriel Venezuela, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Yeah,
sí,
All right. All right.
sí,
And
sí,
this
sí.
is going to be on Amazon Prime, I'm assuming.
correct.
And this will be the non pay-per-view June date, or is this the pay-per-view June date?
We're
Cuz
waiting to hear back.
all
It's
right.
either going to be June 22nd or the David Morrell call before that.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So, do
Not
you
a bad
know? Because
opponent.
on BoxRec,
He beat Steve Sparks too, Danny.
yeah. No, I'm familiar with him. I was gonna ask, do they know, is he still fighting on the Canelo undercard? Because on BoxRec they got him listed to fight May 4th on the Canelo card.
Hmm.
I had heard that he had pulled out, that he's not going to fight on that card.
Okay.
He's got some good experience. I know Ulysses Jr. too from Canada. That's not a bad win, man. He's got like three
No, he's a
good
good fighter,
wins
bro. He
back
could
to
fight.
back. Mm-hmm.
He could fight, bro.
So ask Elvis, has he watched tape on him yet?
Sabe que si tú has visto video del oponente.
Sí, sí, yo anteriormente también vi un par de sus peleas.
Yeah, he said he's watched a couple of his fights.
Wow, so he watched the feud before even knowing that he was gonna get him? It was just what, a coincidence?
Antes de que tú sabías que iba a pelear con él, tú viste su pelea.
Sí, sí, sí. Sí.
Yeah.
Recuerdo la pelea que él tuvo con Montana Love. No recuerdo bien la cartelera que era, pero sí sé que la estaba viendo, esa noche recuerdo que hablé contigo, Benji.
So
Era
He remembers
cartelera
the
de
Montana Love
Canelo
fight.
Vivo.
Sí, sí, exactamente, sí, la cartelera de Canelo Vivo, recuerdo que vi su pelea con Montana Love.
and is Elvis back in the States or is he in DR?
He been training since end of December.
Okay, so he's in LA with Freddie.
Yeah. Oye,
And
Steve, estamos hablando de Matías, de qué tú piensas, de todo lo que ha pasado y todo eso.
No, no, yo lo vi hablando mierda a él los otros días en una entrevista y en un en vivo, porque parece que la gente le estaba preguntando mucho por mí, por la pelea, porque esa era la pelea, parece que la gente de verdad quería ver. Dominicana versus Puerto Rico en Puerto Rico. Y no sé qué pasó, que él o su equipo no quisieron coger la pelea, entonces él empezó a hablar mierda ahí porque le preguntaron por mí, que yo esto, que yo lo otro, que a mí no me han dado, pero si a mí no me han dado, yo quisiera que él venga y me dé, yo lo voy a estar esperando aquí, porque a él sí no le han dado, un hombre de verdad que pega a él sí no le ha dado. Yo lo voy a estar esperando aquí cuando él se decida, como él dijo, que no, que yo tengo que pasar prueba, porque ¿quién es él y que para ponerme prueba a mí? Y que para yo pelear con él. Entonces yo lo voy a estar esperando aquí cuando él se decida. Hay tiempo, yo lo voy a estar esperando.
Well, I mean, he said, look, I saw him talking shit the other day, and he's salty because everybody keep asking him about me, and that's clearly the fight that the fans want to see. And you know, who is he
well, he
to
said that clearly the fight the fans want to see Dominican versus Puerto Rican
versus Puerto
in Puerto
Rico?
Rico.
Correct, and it's an easy fight to make. And he said that that he was talking as if like he was way past him, and I'm not gonna go back and fight this caliber opponent, and that even though Elvis strong, that he ain't never been hit, and that he's gonna hit him, and he says, look, I'm here, like I'm waiting for you. Come try to hit me, bro. I'm waiting for you, bro. What's up? Like you haven't been hit by a real man like me.
Well, I would disagree there. Ask him, does he not rank Urshigev, that last mandatory? That dude was he's solid, bro. Ask Elvis his thoughts on the mandatory challenger that obviously Sabril went in there and took out, made retire. He retired him on the stool.
¿Qué tú piensas de la pelea de él con Urgashev?
Esa fue
El que le
su
dieron la,
última pelea.
Sí.
sí, el que le dieron el balazo.
Oh, no, no sabía yo sí leí supuestamente que le habían dado un balazo en un pie, pero que el otro muchacho también entró como, tú sabes, entró como muy demasiado fuerte los primeros dos asaltos y después no quiso tirar, no fue que no sé qué fue lo que le pasó.
Espérate. Y tú no sabes porque parece que él entró caliente y después recibió y decidió, ya, yo no quiero pelear más.
No, pero él empezó dando yo ni siquiera vi cuando le dieron a él. Ya después en el tercer asalto, después del tercero, ya ahí sí.
Sí, eso fue lo que pasó, que él entró caliente y después dos asaltos pasan y todavía está esta máquina enfrente de la cara de él. Para el tercero, tú sabes, ya se le fue el ánimo, parece, y no quiso seguir. But you're gonna need to translate all
Pero
that.
eso fue el gaché, eso no es Elvis Rodríguez, eso fue el gaché.
He said, Urgashev went in there, started hot, and then like he just stopped throwing. And he was supposedly shot in the foot or whatever it was, and he's like, look, I didn't even see what hit him, but he just stopped throwing. I don't know if he gassed out or whatever it is, but that's Urgashev. I'm Elvis Rodriguez.
Ask him how does he think he does versus an Ergashev, because Ergashev just came back. We thought he was gonna retire, but homie he already back.
Que como
Yeah.
tú piensas
So
que
real quick, I was
Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, going into that fight, I was in the gym with Ergashev that week, and he was saying win or lose, he was retiring after the fight. So it was just kind of weird to see him come back. He just got a win back in Detroit.
Yeah.
So
I believe that it
so a
was
dude who's
difficult
talking
for
about
him.
retiring before a fight and like you give him credit. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know,
but
bro.
but but Benny, I believe it
What
was
mentality was
because
he in?
I believe it's because of his promoter at the time.
Point.
He was with Salida. Salida just got the zone deal before that fight took place. So I could see his mentality. You know, it's kind of like you guys, let's be real. You're sitting around, you keep getting off of fights that don't happen. You know, a fighter could get desencantado. Like he ain't beat no more. You know what I'm saying? But now the opportunities is coming and it gives you a change of heart. No? Can you see
I
that?
mean, if I mean if you win this, you win this, and if you not, you not, yo.
Yeah, but if they not moving you, look at
I
a
mean,
man to
bro, like yo,
Stenonius, bro.
you
Look at Stenonius. He got
I,
25 months out the ring. Like, how do you keep your spirit up?
bro, because yo, dude is hungry, yo. Like he wants this. Like we know Stanny on this, and he hungry, bro. He wants this. Like he's
Yeah,
not
he
gonna be
going
talking
through a
like that, bro.
motherfucker. I've interviewed that dude. He's
I
going
know,
through a
bro.
motherfucker right now.
Yo, it's tough, yo. It's tough, and boxing's tough right now. But you know, like I just think it's crazy that these guys can all pick and choose and do all of these things. And it's like, yo, what's the point of rankings? What's the point of any of these things if you could just you know, that guy's too hard. I'm gonna go over here, bro.
I
You know,
mean,
it's
but
nuts right now.
but how highly, because 1 and 2 is vacant, so Elvis was getting an opportunity. Uh it's not like it's his turn just yet.
Correct.
When
I
you
think it was his turn after, you know, there was a couple of guys who turned down the Teofimo fight. So I think when you see the guys that turned down the Teofimo fight, Elvis was the next guy.
Which brings me to the next guy, right? Like I had got wind that you guys were gonna get an offer for Tio, and it seems like I was right in terms of what was reported ultimately. But did you ever get a phone call for Tio?
Yes.
Okay, so I was right. That's great. So it was
Prior to you hitting me up, by the way. I just didn't want to say nothing.
okay, even better. So it was ultimately it was up to Tio. What I was told is Tio was given 3 names, two outside names, or maybe two. I forget now because it was so long when I texted you, but I know it was Elvis, Claggett. Damn, Danny, do you remember what I told you?
Murataya. Murataya.
Murataya. That's right. The motherfucker ain't even take Murataya
Mm-hmm.
moving up. So yeah, I'm shocked he took Claggett because the other 2 names are a lot, more appealing in Elvis and Murataya, but I understand why he took Claggett to stay busy. He just fought in February, comes back in June, another fight. He could still have one more fight end of the year. That being said, how was that contract? And was that, one of those opportunities where you just took it because of the name, or was the contract attached to that also a good contract? And did it mean you had to sign to Top Rank? Was it any options?
You know, we didn't get that far with those negotiations. Essentially up until like 3 days before he decided on Claggett. Um, as far as I had heard, it was us. It was Elvis. And then at the last minute, you know, he decided on Claggett. I think Teofimo and Matias are two different categories in which, you know, Teofimo gets paid a significant amount of money to pretty much fight anybody, and he's in a different kind of fiscal part of his career than a Matias is. I think the Matias, I was like shocked that you could go out here and be like, yo, everyone's ducking me. And then pretend like our fights aren't offered and pretend like you, and he has, I feel like, and I think Elvis feels the same way. Matias has very different energy when it comes to talking about Matias, when it comes to talking about Elvis, than everybody else.
Do they know each other from the amateurs?
Que si se conocen del amateur, Matías y tú.
Yo lo, yo lo llegué a ver peleando allá en Puerto Rico. Nosotros íbamos mucho siempre a Puerto Rico. Hacían un torneo que creo que todavía lo hacen, se llama Copa Chevaponte, y nosotros íbamos allá todos los años a pelear y yo siempre lo veía.
He said I would see him all the time at the Copa Ponte in Puerto Rico.
But they never shared the ring in any
Nunca
way.
pelearon o guantearon ni nada.
No, no, pues yo recuerdo esa vez yo estaba en peso más bajito. Yo primero peleaba en 56 kilos, después en 60. Y creo que él peleaba en 64, si no me equivoco.
He said Matias was bigger at the time. At that
For
time, he
sure.
was a lot smaller and younger.
So,
You know,
talk to
if
me.
you heard him
Obviously,
talk
you guys are
in
training.
the
I'm sorry. There was a delay.
if you heard him talk, you know, he was essentially saying, you know, Rivera ducked him, and Liam Paro, and he chose to fight Liam Paro, but then he was saying that, you know, I'm not gonna go back and fight an Elvis Rodriguez, and it's like, wait, you'll fight a Michelle Rivera and you'll fight a Liam Paro, but you're not gonna fight Elvis Rodriguez? Like, that don't even make sense, bro. That don't even make sense. Like, I get it, him saying that if he's fighting Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez. Bro, I get it. At that point, yo, it is what it is. But that's not what's happening. You're fighting Liam Paro, and you were in negotiations to fight Michelle Rivera, who apparently ducked you. But you can't say that about Elvis. And it feels like you mad that you can't say that about Elvis.
Well, ask him how's it going training with Freddie, and does he feel that the focus is, being spread evenly? Because I know Freddie has a big assignment right now with Cinco de Mayo coming up, May 4th. Canelo and Monguia, no?
Que cómo te va allá entrenando con Freddy, que si Freddy te está prestando atención ahí, que tiene Munguía para esta pelea el 5 de mayo, que es una pelea bien grande.
Sí, sí, la cosa van bien porque Munguía tiene su horario aparte. Yo tengo mi horario aparte en el gimnasio y tú sabes, las cosas van bien. Freddy siempre está ahí. Freddy, como quien dice, vive en el gimnasio ahí. Aparte de Freddy, tú sabes que también tenemos a Marvin ahí, que me ayuda muchísimo también. Y siempre, tú sabes, las cosas van bien, siempre en el gimnasio, mucho sparring tengo. Ahora mismo estoy ayudando a Raúl Curiel, un peleador de Golden Boy, que tiene su pelea el 27 de abril y he estado haciendo sparring con él.
So it's just going good. You know, Jaime Munguia has his time. I have my time. Right now, I'm helping Raul Curiel get ready for his fight that's coming in April.
Obviously, Jaime has gone up many divisions. How long has he been, there with Freddie? And has there ever been a chance that, Elvis and him shared the ring? Because Jaime was a 47-pounder. I'm not sure if he was with Freddie back then. But again, even, when you're sparring, you don't look for
I think he
someone
only has 2 fights with
specifically in
Freddie.
your weight. Oh, only two? Is it only the last two, Danny?
¿Cuántas peleas tiene con Freddy? Dos, ¿verdad? ¿O una?
Yeah,
Una sola,
Una
esta va a ser la número
sola.
2.
Oh,
Sí,
wow.
esta va a ser
Damn.
la
This
número
is the
2.
second fight.
Oh,
look,
wow.
he was with Eric
Oh,
Morales
sí,
before,
que
right?
estaba con Morales. Se me olvidó.
Sí.
Yeah, he was with Eric. Okay. Man, what is Elvis' thoughts on Boots going to Matchroom?
¿Qué tú piensas de Boots? Que se está yendo para Matchroom.
No, que se fue ya.
O que se
Ya
fue.
fue, ya. Sí, vi eso ayer y, coño, no sé cuáles son las peleas que tienen planes en el futuro para él, pero me imagino que tienen buenos planes con él. Tú sabes que él es, como te digo, uno de los tops ahora mismo en el boxeo, en las 147 libras. Me imagino que tienen grandes planes con él, ¿tú me entiendes? Y el chamaquito en verdad tiene talento, tiene talento.
Yeah, he said, look, I don't know what his plans are, but like they must have, big plans for him because he's one of the top guys in the world right now, and especially at 147, and he has a lot of talent.
I'm not trying to put you in a difficult position, but you've obviously already done business with PBC and Top Rank. do you at least like the consistency that you had for your fighter with Top Rank? Because we were seeing Elvis more regularly.
Look, I'm always be a big proponent of activity. I think activity matters. I think activity is everything. You stay in the public's eye. You get spoken about. You get to work on your craft. You get to get better and better and better. Like I believe, a lot in that. So I think that's important, and that's all I could really say.
What are your guys' thoughts as a team on actually ask him that, he's now with both. Like what does he
¿Qué,
prefer
qué,
the
qué- qué tú prefieres, Top Rank o PBC, de la manera que te han llevado la carrera, la actividad de Top Rank o de la manera que te están tratando PBC?
Bueno, en verdad, tú sabes, es como tú dices, el boxeo está un poco difícil ahora mismo, tú me entiendes, y yo lo que, tú sabes, mi deseo es siempre tener más actividad, pelear, hacer la mayor cantidad de peleas posible al año, tú me entiendes, pero también siempre que la cosa me convengan a mí, porque este es mi trabajo, esto es lo único que yo estoy haciendo, tú me entiendes, y las cosas me tienen que convenir a mí. No sé si me entiendes.
He said, "Look, like I love activity, and I agree that activity is important, and I want to fight as much and as often as possible every year. But it just needs to ultimately make sense for me because like this is my job. This is how I feed my family. So it just needs to make sense for me."
Got a couple of questions from the people, and we'll get you guys out of there. We got Octo that says, how would you describe Freddie Roach as a trainer, and what new things did he add to your game, Elvis?
¿Entendiste?
Más o menos.
¿Cómo describe a Freddie Roach como entrenador y qué te ha ayudado en o qué ha añadido a tu estilo?
Bueno, yo siempre, tú sabes, yo siempre lo he dicho que el cambio que yo he dado aquí, después que llegué a la mano de Freddy, tú sabes, ha sido un cambio del cielo a la tierra. He mejorado muchísimo, tú me entiendes. Y ha sido una experiencia, tú sabes, bastante buena. Siempre el gimnasio vienen muchos boxeadores de calidad. Siempre tengo la oportunidad de sparrear con boxeadores de calidad, tú me entiendes. Y ha sido una experiencia bien buena para mí y para mi carrera.
He said, "Look, I've always said it since I've been here. My style has changed, you know, totally. I'm always getting in there. There's always great sparring. I'm always seeing different styles, and it's been a great experience for my career."
I got Hugo that says, ¿con qué otros boxeadores dominicanos has compartido en la República Dominicana? ¿Y con cuál has peleado en los amateurs?
Con todo.
Bueno, tú sabes, de compartir, he compartido con todito allá en verdad, porque tú sabes, nos conocemos de que somos carajitos, como decimos allá en República Dominicana, nos conocemos, ¿tú me entiendes? A
Ujú.
todito los conozco, toditos son míos. Y tú sabes, eso de pelear, hemos peleado entre toditos. Mira, yo he peleado con Héctor Luis García, con Rohan Polanco, con Henry Cedeño, con Erison
Wow.
García. No recuerdo con quién más, pero ya tú sabes, hemos peleado.
So he had a growth spurt then. If he fought all those guys, some at one point he just grew and they did, he left them because they're still
I mean,
small.
Henry is his
It's
weight,
30. He
and
moved up to 35, but he's ultimately fights at 30.
no,
Hector,
and Henry is 40, and then Hector. Oh, Garcia is
yeah.
30. Yeah, Garcia is 30. Um, yeah, aguante, and he fought Polanco. ¿Con quién más? Aguanteado con Eury.
Sí, sí, con Every,
Con
aguantado
Caballo
Eldy,
también.
muchísimo.
Eldy, Eldy is the bigger brother, right? You talking
Yeah,
about
Sí,
so he
sí.
he he fought the smaller one, but he has sparred with the bigger one, and he sparred with Caballo también.
Caballo? You talking Carlos Adames?
Yeah.
Sí.
Okay, wow. Well, I'll translate that for the people. The question from Hugo was basically what fighters from the Dominican Republic did he, hang out and just, casually chill with, and then what fighters in the Dominican Republic did he fight in the amateurs? So, fighting, all of them, all of them didn't matter the weight, as you can see, and hanging out, all of them. He says they're all his boys because they came up from little rugrats, basically. I got Rod in LA. He says, what happened with the Matias fight and why didn't your team work out a deal with Matchroom? They got the majority of the 140 pounders. You answered all that already. Obviously, Matias chose Paro and Matchroom didn't give you a deal, and then you got pulled away by PBC that did offer you something.
Oh, they were offering us something. If we went to Puerto Rico and fought Alfredo Santiago and kind of agreed to be a backup if something happened to Paro. But we just got a better
Better
fight
offer?
offer from PBC, so it just made no sense at the end of the day. But I mean, I would like to ask you and your fans:
Now
would you
wait,
rather
now
watch?
wait. Did it make no sense because the offer from PBC was financially that greater? Because I just look at it again. I go back to activity. I know with
Yeah, so
Matchroom,
it was they were both 3-fight deals. But the PBC 3-fight deal was and it's the same time frame. But the PBC 3-fight it was significantly more money.
and do you believe that it will play out the way that it was, you know, told to you? Because obviously, look, Kenny Sims left. He left PBC again, so it's like people are waiting and getting tired of waiting.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys rather Paro and Matias or Paro and or Elvis and Matias? Or do you guys rather
I
Teofimo and
I I
Elvis
I
or
know I know
Teofimo
Pyro. I know
or do
Pyro.
you
I know he's
or
tough.
Teofimo and Claggett?
Well,
Those two
again,
fight.
man, I've been in the business for a long time, right? So my answer is gonna be different. It's like for Tio, I understand it. It'll give him the activity
It's
that
not
we
about the
beg these
business.
fighters to
As from a
have.
fan perspective,
If we just talking the fight, of
but
course
from a
nobody
fan and
wants
fight
Claggett.
perspective.
No, of course no one wants Claggett if we
Okay.
just talking the fight. But with the Pyro
And
situation,
if everybody wanted Paro, I don't think everybody would be hitting up Matias the way they are. He
I'm
wouldn't be
not
getting so
saying
salty about the situation.
I'm not saying everybody wants Pyro. And remember, Matias is Latin, so his fan base is gonna want a Latin last name versus, some dude from Australia. It's just the bottom line. They're gonna want to be able to pronounce Rodriguez versus Pato, even though
Bro,
Pato sounds
it's
Italian.
like if you're the general manager of the Yankees, and you know the what do you want? You want
But
Boston Red
Benny,
Sox,
no. We gotta include
or you
Elvis.
want the Mets.
I'm
But like
including
those are the
Elvis.
two big.
Elvis, como que está en fogo now, que Matías no quería pelear contigo, pero porque entonces, ¿por qué cogió la oferta de PBC? ¿Por qué no pelea en Puerto Rico? Está ahí por si acaso. Si Paro no pelea, entra tú. Si Paro pelea, tal vez entra tú en la próxima, pero
No,
ya
ellos
tú
me
estás de
dijeron
ese lado.
él no va, él no va. If they would have offered me Matias, if we beat Santiago, we would have done it.
Yeah, but you on that side of the street. Fuck Matias. You got Devin on that side. You got Ryan on that side. There's more names on that side. Like
If
you seem. I just want to translate for the
if
audience too, because we left them in the dark. You seem. I was telling Elvis that you seem frustrated that Matias didn't take the fight, but then you turned around and took a PBC deal when you could have just took the matchroom deal, fought on his undercard in Puerto Rico, and hopefully get the fight down the line. Because now you're in matchroom. And there's Devin Haney at 40. And there's Ryan at 40. And Montana Love at 40. And Hitchens at
so let
40.
me
And
just
Steve Sparks at 40. And Liam
so
Pato at
so
40.
Love
let me
got cut.
interject. You're talking about, and if everything plays out, because obviously everything is based on if he wins on both sides of the street. You're talking about what ultimately amounted to, on one side was about a $400,000 deal, and on the other side is a $900,000 deal. Which do you take?
Of course, the 900. But again, you've been down that road. that may or may not manifest. That's just it may or may not manifest. Things
But you
can
just said, of
change.
course. But you just said, of course, the $900,000 deal.
Of
So
course, the money is double. I
I
mean,
don't
what
know.
the fuck? You can't. But then I won't be frustrated. I won't be mad that Matias didn't take the fight when I'm
Yo,
obviously happy that I took more money.
we were okay, and then like he came out saying all of that, and we were gonna leave it alone. Like it was what it was. We move on. They know that they haven't accepted the fight on several occasions at this point. You know, and apparently it's more than twice, because I thought it was just twice that I knew of. But apparently they've been trying to make this fight for a minute, and they keep putting if and fifths and whatever.
And when you say
But
apparently, you're saying after the failed negotiations with Matchroom, you got word from from PBC that they had
no,
been trying to make that fight while
when
Matias was on PBC.
when I got the offer from Matchroom, I let PBC know, who is ultimately, Al is our advisor. I had to let them know, and they were like, "Yo, Ben, they're not gonna take the fight, bro. Like we've tried to make that fight a lot, so like I will, like good luck. I hope they make it, but I don't see them taking that fight because we've tried to make that fight."
And again, for the audience listening, PBC is insinuating that they tried to make Matias Elvis while both were on PBC.
And they
That's what
did for sure in November that I know of. I didn't know they had tried to make it before that. Like I can just be honest, but like what I know.
for sure. Let's get to the rest of these. We got looks like Jay Fernandez, who says, RJ in Chicago, you've been out of the ring for almost 9 months. Who do you want to fight next? Anything in the works that you can talk about? Well, you've already given the opponent. You might want to say that one more time. He is fighting June, first half of June, either the first fight in June or the pay-per-view card in June, correct? Benny?
Correct.
Okay. And the
And it's
name,
against Va-
yeah,
Gabriel Valenzuela. Is that it?
yes. It's Gabriel
Yeah.
Golazo Venezuela. Is that
Yeah.
how you pronounce it, Danny? Double L? I fucked that up probably. I'll text it to you about now.
Say it again.
Let me ask you guys. I know. Do you guys rather see Elvis versus Matias or Elvis versus Teofimo?
Both
I
fights would be
would
good.
say, again, you want fight fan or business?
No, no, fight fan, fight fan. We don't care about the business.
Better for the business.
Goyas.
I would say I can't think without the business. As a guy that just I would rather Elvis fight Tio. He seems more vulnerable. He had very bad fight with Sandor, got dropped twice. Elvis could get that belt. Then the Matias fight is bigger because it's 2 power punches. I just can't think backwards where it's like, oh, go straight into the Matias fight where you can lose. You know what I'm saying?
Even
Because it's 2 punches hitting each other where you could go to Tio right. He likes to be cute. He puts his hands down. He could get caught. You get a belt. You unify. The Matias fight makes more sense. But
Pero
ultimately,
¿cuál
fans'
pelea
perspective has to be power puncher versus power puncher, which
I
would
think
be Elvis versus Matias for me.
the win over Tio would be better because Tio has more
star
accomplishments
power?
as
Right.
well. Even though he has looked bad
Yeah,
as well.
but he's asking you what fight you think is better. Like what fight you want to see as a
No,
fan.
what would you rather see personally?
I think I'd rather see Tio because I want to see Elvis accomplish. I
You
want to see
see,
what
it's
Elvis can
hard.
accomplish.
It's hard not to think business. Like Tio's the bigger name. He's the bigger accolades. It'll put Elvis in a bigger, more
Exactly.
popularity.
I think
And
the
Tio,
good thing that
when
came
he's
out
on
of all
point,
this, me and
is somebody
us in Top
world.
Rank, kind of mended the fences, and we're on good terms. So it's possible that you still see that in the future, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, look, when I got wind of it, I came in. I told you because I was shocked myself. Being as though you guys were there and they were offering you the Tio fight. I thought that was huge. I was praying for it. Hoping that you got one of these 2 big opportunities. But again, you've made it clear that the PBC
I,
came through. I got a couple more. I got
I
Toledo. I'm
expected.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I expected the Matias fight to happen. I didn't really expect. Um,
Tio.
I didn't really expect Teo to take Elvis over Claggett, especially after his last performance.
Yeah, I mean it's a free check essentially. You know, you gotta. I mean, would you not take Claggett if you was offered Claggett and you were in Tio's position? Exactly. You're gonna get 3 fights this year. He'll still get a big fight end of the year. He could still unify with Haney or Matias. ¿Sí o no, Elvis? En la oportunidad que estaba Tio, le estaban ofreciendo la persona de Canadá, pero también él no es un Elvis Martínez, él no es un Devin Haney o un Subriel Matías, pero le da la oportunidad al peleador tener 3 peleas en un año.
Sí.
¿Qué, cuál de los dos te frustró más? ¿La de Matías o la de Teofimo cuando dijeron que no?
He's asking Elvis,
No.
which of the 2 fights frustrated him more when he wasn't
En
able to
verdad
get him?
ya, dime tú, ya no tengo que coger la cosa suave, como decimos allá, tengo que cogerlo suave, no, porque imagínate. Primero
Yeah.
la de Matías, yo siento que me frustró un poquito más, ¿tú me entiendes? Porque ya, según ya lo que habíamos hablado, ya yo te di el sí de una vez y solamente cuando hablé contigo ya me dijiste, no, solamente estamos esperando el contrato. Y para mí ya era un hecho, ¿tú me entiendes? Ya era un hecho,
Sí.
ya estaba entrenando ya para esa pelea. Y después me dicen que no. Esa siento que me frustró un poquito más, porque la de Teofimo por lo menos tú me hablaste claro. Me dice, oye, me van a avisar de una vez, no van a poner a perder tiempo.
Yeah, he said that the Matias one frustrated him more because it seemed like it was a done deal, and you know we were starting to get ready for that fight. We were just waiting for the contract, so it is what it is, bro. You know,
I
and he
mean,
can't get frustrated. Everybody keeps telling him no. It's not like it's Matias, it's Teofimo, it's Jose Ramirez, it's Barbosa. Barbosa, I understand because his situation, he wants to fight up. So I didn't really expect that. But I thought I really thought Ramirez and Matias were like fights that could or should get done because they make sense for both fighters.
well, Gabriel is ranked in the WBO Venezuela. Are you guys gonna also try to get ranked in that sanction, or will this fight not be a sanctioned WBO fight because you guys are number 11 in the IBF, he's number 12 in the WBO? Have you guys
We're,
gotten to
we're
the
number
part?
s- we're number 7 in the WBO.
You are. But number 11 in the IBF is what I said. Yes. But so you're are you guys going to be, is it going to be a sanctioned WBO fight?
I need to talk to them. I know that it's sanctioned for the IBF.
And that's why I'm asking, because again, him being number 7, Barboza should be getting his turn because Tio asked for super champion a few months ago, so he's got like 18 months before he has to fight Barboza. You know, that ladder will keep moving as well. So I just wanted to know, are you going to continue to be ranked in both, or are you going to choose one?
No, I think we're gonna try to continue getting ranked in both because those seem to be the fights that at least seem like hopefully they can be made. I get negotiations are tough and sometimes it takes time. So maybe a couple more wins and these guys will be willing to step in the ring and make it happen.
Danny, you got one?
Yep, Elvis wanted to know your thoughts if you watched the Hitchens fight against Lemos this past weekend. Que si viste la pelea con Hitchens contra Lemos el fin de semana pasado y que tus pensamientos sobre la pelea.
Bueno, ustedes la vieron la pelea, ¿verdad?
Sí. ¿Qué pensaste tú?
Tú sabes, a veces cuando yo siento que cosas así es bueno que pasen para el boxeo, a veces, tú me entiendes, bueno que pasen, porque la mayoría de estos chamaquitos, ellos, cuando tú lo oyes hablando a ellos, no, que yo estoy en otro nivel, hablan como que ellos, tú sabes, están más para arriba de todo el mundo, no, yo estoy en otro nivel, yo esto, yo puedo qué sé yo qué. Entonces, a la hora de la verdad, no lo demuestran porque ustedes vieron lo que pasó. Eso tiene que seguir pasando para que ese chamaquito se le baje, tú sabes, porque ellos siempre hablan que la mayoría de veces las peleas no se dan por eso. No, tú no estás a mi nivel, que si yo qué. Así decía Shakur Stevenson también de Edwin de los Santos. De que no, tú no estás a mi nivel. Tú no estás a mi nivel. Y ustedes vieron también. ¿Tú me entiendes? Eso, y eso es bueno que pase a veces en el boxeo. Esas cosas sí es bueno que pasen a veces en el boxeo.
Benny,
He said, look,
translate
he,
that properly because he did an amazing job answering that.
he said, look, like you guys saw the fight, like, you know, I don't gotta say nothing. Like I think it's good for stuff like that to happen sometimes because these guys, you know, are on that high horse acting like they better than everybody, and he's not on my level, he's not on my level, and they get humbled by fights like that. And a lot of times that's why fights don't happen because, you know, they think, oh, they better than everybody and he's not on my level, and then they get humbled by some guy they're supposed to, you know, walk through. And you know, the same thing happened with Shakur Stevenson, who talks the same way, and you saw what happened with him and Edwin de los Santos.
Absolutely. Beautiful answer. Um, we got Treese in Toledo, Ohio says, would you rather rematch Kenny Sims or fight Richardson Hitchens?
Que si tú prefieres pelear con Kenny Sims o Richardson Hitchens.
Bueno, todo dependiendo que nos ofrezca cada una de esas peleas. ¿Tú me entiendes?
Whatever the best offer is.
For sure. And I think we got last one is from One Way Renzo. How would you like to be described to my Hispanic boxing fans that may not be aware of you? So how would
In
he
what
want
way?
to be described to boxing fans that don't know him?
¿Cómo tú quieres describirte a los fanáticos que a lo mejor no te conocen?
Bueno, como yo me describiría. Creo que soy tú sabes, un boxeador técnico, pero que también soy agresivo, ¿tú me entiendes? Y el que ha visto mi pelea sabe. Y creo que, tú sabes, soy agradable de ver. Pienso que soy bueno para el boxeo, que mis peleas son, ¿cómo te digo? Que mis peleas siempre, tú sabes, siempre son buenas, siempre pasa algo en mi pelea.
You know, he says, "Look, I think I'm a technical boxer puncher who, you know, I like to be aggressive, and you know, I think that I'm a fan friendly fighter, and all my fights are exciting. You know, that's one thing, and it's a shame. I think for boxing, because I'm mentioning Hitchens right now. I think for boxing, and not because Elvis is mine, but Elvis and Teofimo and Matias, like they're good for boxing and boxing fans, right? The Hitchens and then the Shakurs and the technical guys, like for like boxing to grow as a sport, those guys are not good because they stink it up and they do it constantly, and they don't excite guys. They don't excite fans.
I mean, Shakur got a fan base, champ. He sells 10, 12,000.
But I'm talking about, you know, the casual fans that that seem to be going elsewhere. Like those guys want excitement. They want knockouts. They want, you know, fan friendly fights. They're not trying to tune into, you know, chess matches or whatever it is that the technical, you know, whatever it is that Hitchens said he was doing with the jabbing and holding. That's technical boxing. All right, yo, cool, yo. Nobody want to see that, yo.
Yo, you
Nobody want to see
hilarious.
that.
He said, all right, man, cool.
Ain't no, yo, I'm changing the channel, man. Come on, fam. Like, let's be real, yo.
What's your thought? Ask him what's his thoughts on Gustavo Lemos.
You want to see people. ¿Qué tú piensas de Gustavo Lemos?
Mira, primera vez que lo vi se vio fuerte.
He says the first time I've seen him, man, he looks strong, bro.
Yeah, nah,
You know,
he
it's
did.
guy.
Does
He's a good fighter. I thought he won. I thought he won. I thought he won pretty clearly, but like it is what it is.
you think Hitchens should rematch? Ask Elvis, does he feel Hitchens should rematch?
¿Tú piensas que Hitchens debe de darle la revancha?
Hmm. hay que ver si él quiere dar esa revancha. Hay que ver si él
You
quiere.
we got to see if he actually wants to rematch that guy.
All right. Well, Elvis, those are all the questions, man. Thank you as always for coming on. You know, my deepest condolences for not. Oh, you got one? You said you got one, Danny?
Yeah, I just want his thoughts on the big one. Yeah, his thoughts on the fight next Saturday night. It's his division, right? 140-pound division.
Very
I know
true.
Haney was over at Wildcard getting some work. I'm sure he may have not been in the room, but he at least heard something. So just his thoughts on the fight.
¿Qué tú piensas de la pelea la semana que viene?
Bueno, en verdad, hay que ver cómo va a llegar Ryan García a esa pelea, ustedes han visto toda la controversia que él ha tenido últimamente. No sé cómo está él preparado mentalmente para esta pelea, pero yo tengo de favorito a Henny para esta pelea.
He said, "Look,
Entraron.
honestly, you got to see you got to see how Ryan shows up to this fight mentally. You've seen what's been going on with him and all the controversy. You just got to see how he shows up. But I got Haney, winning the fight.
I got two more actually. Dr. Mofongo, also Dominican, he said, I got my nickname from a long-standing feud between me and a coworker from Puerto Rico who has the best mofongo, despite who created it. I obviously feel the title today belongs to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, of course.
What do you think, Elvis? Gracias, campeón.
¿Quién tiene el mejor mofongo? ¿Los boricuas o los dominicanos?
Coño, el mofongo de allá de Santo Domingo está en otro nivel, en verdad.
Yo te voy a decir la
Pero
verdad, yo nunca he visto los dominicanos hacerlo como los puertorriqueños, porque los puertorriqueños le meten de todo. Hay
eso
mofongo
te iba,
de camarones,
eso,
mofongo de carne, mofongo
Vete
de
a casa de los
pollo.
mofongos. Vete a
Nosotros
casa
nada
de los
más hacemos
mofongos.
mangú con
no,
cebolla y carne al lado.
allá lo hacen los mofongos. Yo siento que eso, ¿cómo te digo? Viene siendo, la comida viene siendo bien parecida en Puerto Rico y de República Dominicana y bien parecida. Lo único, tú sabes que en Cuba también, que aquí tengo en Los Ángeles, es lo más cercano que tengo a comida dominicana, que es los restaurantes cubanos, y la comida es bien parecida. Lo único que le cambia es los nombres, le dicen con
Sí,
gris, que lo otro, pero la comida es casi lo mismo siempre. Es bien
casi lo
parecida.
mismo, porque ese mofongo de los puertorriqueños es más seco.
Sí,
Sí.
sí.
Más seco. El de nosotros
Sí.
es más cremoso y se ve.
Oye, yo te,
Sí,
yo te envío, yo te envío a sitios allá en Nueva York para que comas mofongo de verdad.
No,
A sitios
allá,
pero yo
dominicanos.
soy de Nueva York.
allá, allá en Dominicana le hacemos el ritmo y le ponemos a la crema.
Exacto. Le echamos un chin de leche cuando lo estamos haciendo.
Sí,
El mofongo
sí.
del boricua es como
Sabor.
cemento, bien seco and you know they build shit out of the mofongo too.
Como
We
Sí.
ain't
cemento.
yo doggy.
Y,
I
el,
don't
chi-
mean
y
I
es
don't
que el
mean cemento
chicharrón
like that.
dominicano es mejor que el boricua.
I don't mean cemento like that, Danny. What I mean is like it's they mold it. It's so dense that they can mold it. Where ours is more like mush. If that makes any sense for all the
I
Latins
got
out there that have eaten plátanos. Bueno, that is the last. Oh, actually, we got James in Atlanta that says, "Do you see a move to 147 possible anytime soon?"
It's funny, everybody keeps asking that. Que si si tú vas a subir en algún momento a 147.
Oye, imagino que sí, claro que sí. Imagino que sí.
I'm sure at some point I will.
Super duper last one. Because of that question, it just triggered. We found out that before Matias left PBC, he was offered two welterweights. Can't remember both of them, but Boots was one of them. Have you guys ever been offered Boots?
Stop it, bro. Stop it. I know who he was offered. He was offered Elvis and he was offered Gary Russell. They can come with that story all they want, but
So you
it is
saying they
what
never offered him welterweights, as far as you know?
they from my understanding, and not to get too much involved in business that's not mine, but from my understanding, the amount of money that he wanted, they said, okay, we can give you that money, but you got to fight these guys for that kind of money. But here are the guys at 140 that we're offering you.
Okay, so he
And
was offered welterweights and 40 pounders. Was
yes,
Elvis ever one of those offers for Boots?
yeah. Oh no, for Boots, no. I thought you were talking about Matias.
Yeah, no, I'm talking. Has Elvis, since Matias was offered to Boots, I'm asking, have they ever asked you, would Elvis move up and fight Boots?
No, no, no. We've been
Okay.
comfortable at 140, and he makes 140 comfortably. Um, so he's ranked at 140. We're trying to get one of these guys to get in that ring with us. And we're just gonna keep fighting and doing what we got to do to force these guys in the ring.
All right. Well, thank the both of you, Elvis. Gracias por siempre, tú sabes, venir al
Sí,
programa
sí.
y, te deseamos lo mejor. Benny, thank you also for coming on. And till the next one, guys.
Let Matias and Teofimo know that we here. If they decide to
I'm trying to
really
get them on, man.
put the
Coach
big put the
Panda
big
ducking
point
me.
put the big point pants on, and they could come and we can make this fight happen, bro.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Thank
All
you.
right.
Dale, dale, gracias.
Igual. Don't